once again to Hued Hour right here on Hued Network. It's our flagship program where we like to take a look at issues within the humanitarian and development space. We expand on advocacy and we promote the different initiatives that are being put in place to ensure sustainable development across all fields. Welcome once again. I am Amadine Ugbewe.
And I am Joan Eze. It's good to have you. Welcome. Hi, Amadine.
Hello, John. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm good.
Any update this beautiful Wednesday morning?
Well, I just want to stay beautiful and, make sure that we are here to impact knowledge and to make sure that our experts do justice to our topic for today.
Indeed, indeed. And maybe I should ask, how are things in terms of your relationships? You know, these days when we talk about relationships, we have the physical ones and we have
The mental.
some mostly dominated online. A lot of people have... I remember this popular introvert who says all his friends are on Facebook, and his friend reminds him, one of his friends, his only friend, asks him, "You don't know those people?" I was like, "That's how I prefer it. I don't want." So we're having a lot of spaces where people are, connecting a lot with people they can't see, and then perhaps limiting or reducing. How's it for you?
Well, it's a two-way thing for me. I have the online friends, I have the physical friends. But I don't want to really get to a position where all my social interaction
is online,
and everything is just off. So
that's very healthy. And which brings us to the topic of today. Now, social media connects nearly half the world's population, allowing young people to express themselves and engage globally in real time. But as its influence grows, so do concerns about mental health, misinformation, and digital overload.
Digital wellness goes beyond limiting screen time. It's about helping youth build a balanced, intentional relationship with technology. While social media gives people a voice, it can also spread bias, trap users in narrow views, and increase stress.
Now, these challenges have sparked calls for stronger digital cooperation locally and globally, as the UN warns of a growing divide in cyberspace, shaping a shared digital environment rooted in peace, human rights, and development is more important than ever. For young people, learning to navigate this space mindfully may be one of the defining skills of their generation. In this episode, we'll explore how global conversations are shifting toward digital wellness, the impact of social media on youth mental health, and the growing efforts to create safer and more mindful online spaces. But before that, we'll take a look at the headlines of the latest developments in this regard. Now, first we have Virginia passes law limiting teen social media use. And the other story for today, we have Town Hall probes mental health consequences of social media on youths. Now, we'll go on a break. When we return, we'll delve more into what the key facts are on this issue and also what those updates are in terms of the news items. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Social media use among adolescents is on the rise. According to new data from the WHO Regional Office for Europe, rates jumped from 7% in 2018 to 11.2% in 2022. The study also found that 12% of adolescents are at risk of problematic gaming, highlighting growing concerns about how digital habits are affecting youth mental health and well-being.
Indeed, the impact is especially visible among teenage girls. The report shows that 13% of girls struggle with problematic social media use, compared to 9% of boys. Meanwhile, 44% of 15-year-old girls report being in constant contact with friends online. Daily gaming is also widespread, with over one-third of adolescents playing every day, and more than 1 in 5 spending at least 4 hours gaming on those days.
Now, these trends raise important questions about how digital technology is shaping adolescent development, behavior, and mental health. Addressing these challenges is essential to building a healthier digital environment for young people. We'll explore global responses and youth-led solutions after the break. Stay with us. Now, to our first news item. Starting January 1, 2026, a new law in Virginia will restrict children under 16 to just 1 hour per day on each social media platform. In an effort to address rising concerns about youth mental health, signed by Governor Glenn Youngkin, the law mandates platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, Pinterest, and X to set default screen time limits, with parents able to adjust them as needed. Companies that fail to comply could face penalties under the Virginia Consumer Protection Act. Mental health experts have welcomed the move, and Anna McChesney, a therapist and CEO of the Center for Creative Healing, said excessive screen time is contributing to emotional isolation and delayed development among young clients. McChesney noted that they've missed key developmental experiences, especially those that come through play. She added that some content online is helpful, but warned that overconsumption can lead to misinformation and emotional strain. Parents, she said, often report conflict at home over attempts to limit phone use, highlighting the urgent need for supportive measures like this law. Well, I think the law there is pretty clear, and in this instance, it's targeting more of the big tech, as they are called, to put more responsibility on them, because there's been this argument back and forth, especially in the area of misinformation and fact-checking, where some of these CEOs, like we have with Facebook, are trying to say, well, as this can't, always be fully on us, we have the platform, but what's the line between freedom of speech and censorship and all of that? Yeah. But with this law, it's pretty clear. It's a law. It's no longer debatable. You might, take it up if you have issues with it. Perhaps your local lawmaker and the judiciary can have their say. But that aside, the point here now is that the responsibility is being placed on these organizations to say, we're not just going to turn a blind eye. We're going to do more in this regard and not just hope that parents at home will monitor and, have that restriction. So they would be forced to do their part while the parents and others do that. Because at the end of the day, if there was a separate internet for children or younger persons, it's one thing. But your adolescent, is being pushed straight into the cyberspace that has
a lot of content.
Everything.
I think that is where I really want to come in. The restriction for me is very important, because the way things are going now, when children are exposed to a lot of things, apart from the misinformation, the kind of content that pops up on their screen is something that they are not supposed to see or have access to as at that particular age they are actually in. So for what the Governor Glenn Youngkin has actually said or done, for me is a good strategy, and for parents as well to also feel safe as well, because. And something also got to my mind about the development part of it. When you're too glued to your screen, the things you're set up to do, you don't do them. And you see that the procrastination comes in, setbacks and all that, unfulfilled goals.
And I also add that what McChesney says, who deals with issues like this and young persons, is that there are things that you actually gain from children playing with children, with young people interacting with each other.
Yes.
Back then in school, we were taught about the different areas or levels of socialization, family, school, the society, workplace, all those things. So we can't just start skipping some of these things. It might seem very banal, very mundane that you want this person to interact with this person, but we're human beings. We're not machines. Yeah. That interaction does something.
It's very important.
And we can't completely replace it with faceless people who can say all sorts and get away with it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we will go on a break now. When we return, we'll delve into our other news item. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Come back now. Let's take our second news item. Joan, let's go with that.
Okay, so a youth-focused town hall held at the Faculty of Communication and Media Studies, University of Abuja, brought together over 30 participants to examine the ongoing influence of social media on young people's development, mental health, and accountability. The event was organized by the Social Impact Youth Hub, SIYH, and coordinated by Gender Strategy Advancement International, GSI, in partnership with several organizations, including Mental Health with DT Foundation, themed the ongoing impact of social media on the youth, self-development, accountability, and mental health. The town hall aimed to provide a platform for reflection and dialogue on the challenges and opportunities digital media presents to young Nigerians. The event featured a mental health session led by Adedotun Esan, Executive Director of Mental Health with DT Foundation. The session focused on issues such as digital burnout, dopamine-driven engagement, and the psychological effects of constant online comparison. Esan also introduced strategies for digital self-regulation and encouraged participants to seek local mental health resources when needed. Dr. Adora Onyechere Sidney Jack, founder of SIYH, delivered a keynote address encouraging youth to prioritize authenticity and purpose over online validation. Her speech highlighted the importance of grounding personal identity beyond social media metrics. Participants engaged in a series of interactive activities designed to prompt reflection on their digital habits, including an online habit audit and a comparison of online personas with real-life aspirations. Organizers described the sessions as youth-led and participatory, aiming to strengthen digital literacy and emotional awareness. Well, Amadine, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting one.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have the organizers right here in the studio, perhaps
Yeah.
we should just let them, tell us. Let's hear from the horse's mouth.
All right.
So we'll go on a quick break now. When we return, we will be joined by Grace Udie. She is the team lead for the organization alongside, that is Grace. And also we will be joined by our colleague, a member of the organization as well. She is a lecturer at the University of Abuja, and she will also be joining us to do justice to the issue today. We'll go on a quick break now. When we return, the matter continues. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Every day, amazing stories of hope and tenacity unfold across the globe. On Hued Hour, we dive into these inspiring tales and discuss the vital work being done in the humanitarian and development space. Humanity has never faced a shortage of challenges, yet we rise stronger through teamwork and determination. Though these remedies are often underreported, on Hued Hour, we advocate sustainable solutions. We bring you the latest and most impactful news on how lives are being changed. We engage with young change makers and experts who provide valuable insights into relief efforts and the challenges faced by local communities through a global perspective. Join us every Wednesday by 8 a.m. on Hued Network's YouTube channel as we embark on this journey of positive change.
Hey everyone, let's face it, our world today experiences numerous challenges. And guess what? Our community isn't off the hook either. Most of the world issues are either not talked about enough or never talked about at all. But here on Timeline, we've got you covered. We dive deep into issues that affect us every day, leaving behind footprints of wisdom, knowledge, and solutions. Think of it like a roadmap that keeps you on the track for success. So buckle up, because in this new season of Timeline, we're taking another trip through the past, the present, and navigate into a more promising future. Again, we're talking solutions, people. And let's make one thing clear. This is not your average blah, blah, blah convo. This is real talk with a side of inspiration and a sprinkle of wow. I never thought about it like that. I'm your host on this impactful ride. Together, we'll tackle the tough stuff, laugh a little, and find ourselves on the path to positive change. So what are you waiting for? Season 2 of Timeline will be loaded. Let's get started. Hop in, and let's drive straight into the hearts of issues shaping our world. Let's go. Oh, one more thing. Hit that subscribe button and let's take this ride together.
All right, welcome back. We're diving straight into the conversation now. We've been joined by a lecturer at the Department of Film and Broadcast, Department, University of Abuja. She is also a member of the Social Impact Youth Hub. And she joins us now to tell us or do justice to the issue of digital wellness and expand on it. Welcome to the program.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to have you.
All right, so maybe we should start quickly with schools, because we're talking about young people here and how social media is affecting them. What would you say, issues like, or there are programs being done to teach emotional intelligence, digital literacy, and self-regulation in online spaces?
Thank you for having me. I'm Nurat Yusuf. I lecture at the Department of Broadcast and Film, University of Abuja. So when you talk about digital literacy and emotional intelligence, 70% of Nigerians are youth. And of course, we have a crop of them in the university, between the age of 16 and 25, thereabout. And they are actively on social media. So fine, there's a problem, which we experience in class as lecturers. The attention span, I always say, is always dwindling currently, and that is the challenge. Social Impact Youth Hub has done very well by coming to school, courtesy of Dr. Adora Onyechere-Jack, and telling the students about the responsible use of social media. So it's not as if social media is actually bad. We always say we use digital media very well. We teach via the social media too. But then the distraction is there. So the university these days, is leveraging on mentorship program that is incorporating into the system to tell the student about this responsible use of the social media. And that is what the SYH Hub has also done by telling the students that when there should be maximum time. I mean, you should be able to be responsible for everything you're doing in school. So from your academics, from the use of the mobile phones, it's your responsibility. Now you can claim independence. Of course, you're in the university and you have the right to do whatever. But then how is this one impacting positively in your studies? And I think that is why we are here today. Emotional intelligence also is an issue. What is it that lecturers have to do? Lecturers are saddled with the responsibility of teaching, but at the same time, we are also responsible for these children. How is their performance in class? And how are they using the social media outside? Because every student is an ambassador of the institution. So, and that is also what we also do at the Social Impact Youth Hub, to tell them that whatever you do, you are accountable to those things. And for emotional intelligence, the best we can do is to tell them what you consume determines your output. So what you input in your system determines how you behave. So are you behaving rationally? So you should check yourself. It is not what you see, everything you see online. Every content you see online that you buy into, there's always a script being played. So I tell them, there's a script being played. So you see somebody online showcasing this, showcasing that. It's a script just to sell themselves. What about you? What are you selling? So you are here to learn, and that is the primary focus. And that is what we are doing in the Impact Youth Hub. And I believe, I don't know if I've answered your questions.
Yeah, you have.
All right, fair enough. I think you really said quite a lot. I just want you to lay more, I want to get your opinion on what are those roles you feel that development communication platforms and media, youth media houses or, platforms should do to make sure that there is a healthier digital behavior across borders.
Okay. Development communication plays a very vital role in our society. And they use a lot of platforms for the youth to pass the message across. And the first one is advocacy. It is very important for a development communication expert to key into this society. And when I mean the society, the youthful nexus. So if you're a teacher and you're teaching from that angle of you, you're not keying into their space, you're not going to get that result from them. And that is where the development communication expert comes in. So advocacy program and partnerships. How are we partnering with other members of the society to campaign? I'm using the word campaign now because it's a problem that we are dealing with and it's affecting their mental health. So to campaign and tell those young minds that the space, the social media space should be used more, like I said, more educatively than the negative angle. And that is where a development expert comes in. So you use advocacy, you use campaign, and you use strategy. Now, this is not a classroom forum whereby you come and teach and bombard them with lectures. You talk and then you relate with them. What are your fears? There was a time I opened this mentorship hub. I just took few students that I feel they are intelligent, and then I discussed issues. Do you know, I was marveled by some personal issues that the students told me about that their parents don't know about. So they see that social media as a space to connect, to run away from home. So it's like I can't sit down and talk to my mom about some personal issues that I'm dealing with. Let me quickly run to that social media. That my friend, that man, that guy understands me better. Let me show my mind. And then they use it to gain, what would I say? Okay, you tell them, oh, you look beautiful. Your body is fine. You look smart. It is another person. So they are leveraging on that space and they feel it's so comfortable. It's like a second home. I don't know if I'm running from a military space whereby I'm being checked, I'm being bulldozed, and there's this angle whereby I can relax. Nobody judges me. And my dad and my mom and my lecturer are not into that space. Don't you think I would do whatever I want to do? Do you understand? So you come from that angle of understanding the students, and then that is where you'll be able to key into whatever development strategies and goals you want them to know.
Indeed. Thank you so much for that. It's important that whoever you are seeking to develop or help, they should be part of the process, not just that you are creating policies and you are dumping it on them. They should be part of it. Thank you so much for that. We will go on a break now, and when we return, we'll be joined by a colleague of Tosin right here to do justice to another aspect of the matter. I'm talking about Grace Udi. She's the team lead for Social Impact Youth Hub. But that'll be after this break. Don't go anywhere. Grace Udi. She's the team lead for Social Impact Youth Hub. Hello, Grace. How are you doing today?
Hi. Nice to be here. Thank you so much.
All right. So let's just start with a quick basic. What does digital wellness mean in the context of young people's development, and where exactly do you think we are, and where do we need to be?
Okay. So in the context of young people or youth, digital wellness is how well they're using, they're balancing the technology and social media, and how well they're using it to improve themselves and also improve their growth socially. So the just concluded town hall that we had like a session where we did a pre-evaluation of, the students, how they use the social media, and most of the responses that were coming back is that a lot of them are depressed because of low likes or low engagement and all of that, and so they're not really using it for the purpose of growth. They just want, societal validation that, oh, I'm here and you can see me, I'm beautiful, stuff like that. So what we did during that town hall was to, explain to them and explain extensively that social media cannot only be negative, it can also be positive. I'll give you an instance. The partners we had for this town hall, the Mental Health with DT Foundation, I found them on social media, on Instagram, right? And it's because of how they were portraying themselves, the content they put out, the engagements they've had. So I was like, why not? We can actually liaise with them to, inculcate into the minds of the youths that this is important as well to, safeguard your mental health and all of that. So I put it out to them that how you present yourself on social media can either make you or marry you, can either improve you or bring you down. So instead of putting out just content of, oh, this is who I am, this is my name, this is my face, why not do more of, this is what I do for a living, this is what I would like to become, this is how I want you to see me. If you are an advocate for change, can you do more of that on your social media platforms? Let them see you. Let us see that these are the things that you can do to change the society. So I think that's what I would say about digital wellness.
Okay, I think you've already answered my question about your event that held. Okay, but let's go to the solution part of it. So what are those promising youth-led solutions that you feel are healthier that, you can bring in, or you can tell people watching you right now that can be a strategy for people to adopt?
I think that the first thing I would say is these organizations that have, an edge on things like this, on the use of social media. You can also look out for youth-led activities online as well. Register for fellowships and all. And then there has to be a lot of detox, digital detox. Why I'm saying that is because of the fact that a lot of youths are always invested on their phones and social media, there is no time to actually have actual conversations outside the space. So our platform, the Social Impact Youth Hub, is a platform where you can have extensive mentorship outside the social media. Of course, the social media is great. It's a platform to, connect, network, and all of that. But how about those conversations that are not being able to be had online on those spaces? Indeed. So these youth-led organizations or these youth-led fellowships are like one-on-one mentorship programs where you can have, you can air out your mind, you can say the things that you want to say to a mentor who can give you an advice in return and help you to, facilitate most of these actions.
Thank you so much, Grace. Bringing back person-to-person relationships is important.
Absolutely.
All right, that's how we end the program for today, this segment anyway. We'll go on a break now. When we return, we will be joined by Paul Oladipupo for Verified Voices. Stay with us.
Every day, amazing stories of hope and tenacity unfold across the globe. On Hued Hour, we dive into these inspiring tales and discuss the vital work being done in the humanitarian and development space. Humanity has never faced a shortage of challenges, yet we rise stronger through teamwork and determination. Though these remedies are often underreported, on Hued Hour, we advocate sustainable solutions. We bring you the latest and most impactful news on how lives are being changed. We engage with young change makers and experts who provide valuable insights into relief efforts and the challenges faced by local communities through a global perspective. Join us every Wednesday by 8 a.m. on Hued Network's YouTube channel as we embark on this journey of positive change.
Hey everyone, let's face it, our world today experiences numerous challenges. And guess what? Our community isn't off the hook either. Most of the world issues are either not talked about enough or never talked about at all. But here on Timeline, we've got you covered. We dive deep into issues that affect us every day, leaving behind footprints of wisdom, knowledge, and solutions. Think of it like a roadmap that keeps you on the track for success. So buckle up, because in this new season of Timeline, we're taking another trip through the past, the present, and navigate into a more promising future. Again, we're talking solutions, people. And let's make one thing clear. This is not your average blah, blah, blah convo. This is real talk with a side of inspiration and a sprinkle of wow. I never thought about it like that. I'm your host on this impactful ride. Together, we'll tackle the tough stuff, laugh a little, and find ourselves on the path to positive change. So what are you waiting for? Season 2 of Timeline will be loaded. Let's get started. Hop in and let's drive straight into the heart of issues shaping our world. Let's go. Oh, one more thing. Hit that subscribe button and let's take this ride together.
Welcome back. Now it's time for Verified Voices. We've been joined by Paul Oladipupo. Hello, Paul. How are you doing?
Hi, Hamadin. How are you doing as well? Hope you're doing good.
I am, and you?
Very
We did.
How are you
Paul.
doing, John?
I'm great.
I mean, we were talking about a very interesting topic, and I think the question for two of you now is that how are you using your social media, positively or negatively? Let's even start from there.
Both. I don't know. You know, you can't run from the negative, so you might be using it positively. As a popular Nigerian artist would say, you are in your spot where you are chilling.
Yeah, where you're chilling and then trouble just comes your way.
But either way, you ensure to sanitize your space and do the best you can.
I think that's
we're
what
doing that. Yeah.
that's what we've been preaching since about the sanitization of this particular space. So let's take a look at what our verified voices are saying. Our very first tweet is from the UNICEF and it's UNESCO rather, and it's a very interesting one. Seeing what they are saying on this particular topic. Let's take a look at this one quickly. It briefly talks about the GEM report. That's the Global Education Monitoring Report. It says that smartphone ban in schools are growing. 40% of countries now ban them, up to 24% after the 2023 GEM report. Banning technology in schools can improve learning, privacy, and also mental health. Ban or balance? Share your take. And I think this question is for every one of us. That what exactly is our take on this? I also love to have like probably the next slide as well, because it actually it talked about how some schools, some countries rather, also created policies to ban this particular one after the report in 2024. And it's very interesting to see. We could see here now, for example, that before the
the report, it was about 30% in 2023, and after that, we had another 10%, that making it 40% in total. And that is 3% makes a total of 60 educational systems, and then the 10% bringing on an additional 19%, making it more interesting. But one of the things I would love to draw attention to is the fact that in places like Africa, also Latin America, they still have a very high margin to cover in terms of where they are at the moment. More policies has to be put in place to ensure that we can see more reduction in terms of usage of smartphone. And I think another thing again I should also mention is the fact that this particular report also mentioned the fact on how technology is being used by students, in the sense that there are some times where the students get distracted from it, and usually it takes about 20 minutes for them to refocus again and come back to the class. Also, the report also argued the fact that if technology does not have a direct impact, then they should not be used in school. And highlighting specifically the use of smartphone. Also, it really talked about also another interesting thing about privacy as well. That's data privacy of the students, because I think about 16% only have data privacy laws in education. That's 16% of countries around the world. And so all of these things are things that this particular report actually draw out. But the interesting thing to see is the fact that some countries are already taking action. A country like China already has stricter laws as regards the ban of phone. Also in France, when they were resuming in 2024, September last year, we saw stricter rules as regards phone, where students had to switch off their phone once entering the school compound, or sometimes, in some cases, hand over their phone to supervisors or teachers, as the case may be. Also in the UK, in the US as well. Well, in the US, it's very interesting because some states are yet to actually pass this particular thing into law. That's about 30 states are yet to do that, while 20 other states have actually done it already. Also in Spain, some regions have already passed it into law, and also some are yet to do that. So we are hoping that more people actually get more on board on this particular one. And the main goal is just to reduce the use of phone, and also while in school, and also try to increase the learning of the students, basically.
Yeah, and I think what we're saying is, particularly in Europe, different schools are also coming up with this. Yeah. As some is coming as legislation, like or laws being passed, like we saw in Virginia, in United States.
Yes.
And, the earlier reports we gave, the statistics we gave actually was focused on Europe. So I think it's an issue they are taking very seriously.
Exactly.
And one thing I understand from schooling and the whole process is how things are so structured so that the growing mind, the developing mind, can have that sense of, structure, discipline. And then, in later in life, we see that people who grow older, they can then leave their boxes, but that experience of having that structured life helps them grow, rather than a situation where, like you said, you look at your phone and then you're distracted.
For the next 20 minutes.
Yes, and then other things where, that's assuming you're even using the phone for safe things.
Yes.
There are issues where now you're using the phone and it's leading to exposure, to abuse, to hate speech and all of that. So I think legislation and all these moves mean that we're not just leaving everything in the hands of perhaps the parent or the child themselves. Yeah. We're also doing everything we can across board, which is why we call for more policies that can sketch that fine line. Don't take away people's freedom of speech, but at the same time protect them from online spaces.
Exactly.
Well, I just hope the children do not get offended because of this particular act that is actually coming on board, because it's for your own good, right? It's for their good. It's to increase their development, their thinking faculty, their IQ shouldn't go into extinction, and of course, that angle of social interaction is very, very important. Development and procrastination should also go away, because when you have things to do and you're glued to your phone, you end up not even doing those things. And of course, the content that pops up on their screen is something that needs to be restrected.
Exactly.
So those companies should take note.
A single notification can actually sweep any child off while in class, and we already have 79 educational systems that already ban this. The use of smartphone in schools. We're hoping for more educational systems to do same as well. We have over, I think, close to 200 educational systems around the world. Well, quickly, let's look at the next tweet. This one also talks about mental health, is from the WHO. And right there, they're saying that people with lived experience of mental health condition must be at the center of #mental care policy and service design. WHO new guidelines set out how people with lived experience should be involved in shaping systems that meet their needs and also improve their care as well. I think this one, recently, WHO released a particular set of guidelines. And one of the things that they talked about in that particular guideline was how to also ensure that people with lived experience are also involved in policy making, shaping designs, healthcare services and things like that, involving them, putting them on board basically to understand what they need and how it should be done. Because I think one of the reasons why things like this actually comes up is the fact that most of them are usually like, people don't understand them, that these things that are doing to them are not really working. So it's more like now putting them on board to ensure that they can also be involved in the policy-making process.
Right. All right. Are there any more tweets?
I think that's all we'll take for today.
Okay.
All right. We'll have to round off there, but it's an interesting one. I do hope that we continue to, ensure that our mental health is considered in all of this. They're young persons. Let's protect them. Let's protect ourselves. Thank you so much, Paul.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
All right. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you for having me.
All right. That's how we round off the program for today. Do join us next time. As always, Wednesdays, 8 a.m. Huge Hour comes to you, bringing you issues within the humanitarian and development space. Bye for now. I am Ahmadine Ubewe.
And I am Joan Eze. Thank you so much. Bye for now.